Hello, my name's Mike, and I am the social media campaign manager for Glide Agency. I thought I'd take you through a guide of the TikTok Ads Manager dashboard, as it's a relatively new area that we're exploring here at Glide, and obviously it's a good way to test out different social media networks ads managers to see if we can generate results or not for our clients. So what we've been doing in the past month or so is utilizing a bit of test budget, maybe $100 over the course of 7 days on a couple of clients and analyzing the results. So I thought I'd take you through the dashboard and just show you how it differs from Google and Facebook. There are some very similarities, as you'll see in a sec, and kind of the things to watch out for when you're creating a TikTok ads campaign. So this is the dashboard. Now it does look very similar to the Google Ads Manager dashboard. As you can see here, you've got your kind of campaign metrics here across the days. You've got the usual kind of metrics measured here, so cost per acquisition, impressions, click-through rate, all that jazz. And then down here, it is pretty much a carbon copy of the Google Ads dashboard. So you have your campaigns and you have your top line metrics here, and you can see the breakdown of performance based on different attributes there, whether it was Android or iPhone, where the conversions came from. And now this day parting thing is very, very, very similar to the Google one. So you can see here, for example, on Friday, it spent more of my money in the 6 o'clock hour than it did for the rest of that day. So that's the main dashboard. Now, if you go into the campaign view, this is where it starts to look a bit like Facebook. So in terms of the structure, it is pretty much the same as Facebook. You've got the campaign level, which is where you set your campaign budgets and you set what kind of campaign you're doing. So here you have a conversion campaign and you set your campaign name, and here the budget you can set it to having no limit, which means it just spends whatever budget you put in the ad set level at its own accord, or you can set like a daily budget cap here. We've set no limit here. So at the campaign level, you can see all the metrics here. Impressions, clicks, conversions, and the cost per result as well. So if you go into the ad set view, or ad group should I say, stealing some terminology from Google, this is where you set your targeting. This is where you set your bid. Now it is important to note that TikTok doesn't have automatic bidding, it only has manual bidding at this stage. So, for example, for this one, we're looking to sell fetal heart Dopplers to parents, the age category 18 to 38, because that is the most active group on TikTok. If anything, it's probably more like 18 to 24 on TikTok versus the older generation. But there are still some 30 plus users on TikTok there as well. So if you go down here, you can set which placement type you want. These are grayed out because the campaign has been live, so ignore that, but you can change them once you're creating your own campaign. You can change your placements, automatic or select, so very similar to Facebook. There are different areas of the TikTok ads platform you can select, and there are a few crossover ones as well on different kind of affinity networks as well that ByteDance also owns. So just bear that in mind when you're picking where you want your ads to serve to. Now the thing here actually that is different from Facebook is you set the URL at the ad group level, which is different to Facebook where you set the URL of your ad at the ad level, which makes more sense in my eyes. But anyway, just a quirk of the system. For this one, we are running a pixel that we've put on the website. So I will run through that in another video, how to install a pixel on a TikTok pixel on your website. And we're optimizing for the product details page, which is the same as view content on Facebook. The reason for that is the pixel for TikTok hasn't really got the same data as the one for Facebook, and the platform in itself probably doesn't have it definitely doesn't have the same amount of level of data that Facebook would have. So the kind of conversions objective is very very early stages, so you might not get the ads optimized as well as Facebook, for example. You can control the image you use to promote your brand, the ad set level here. Now, with Facebook, what you have to do is connect a Facebook page to the Ads Manager backend, and then select the page you want to run the ads from. Whereas here, you don't have to have that in place to run an ad. You can just update your profile image here and change your display name to match, which I think is a good idea actually. It's different, and I'm more open to it because from our side of things, we don't have to go to a client and go, you need to set up your Facebook page, you need to do X, Y, Z to get an ad running. We can just do it ourselves. Um, in terms of targeting, you can target different categories, very similar to Google Display actually. So there's all sorts of different categories you can target. Again, not that much choice at the moment, but that's probably because the platform's only been around 2 or 3 months. So for here, we've got mother and child maternity products, and there are a whole plethora of ones you can choose from here as well. Ad tags is kind of, it's not really like keywords. It's more of it's giving a hint to TikTok on where to push your ads out to. It says you can select up to 20. For here, I've gone with 5 keywords. And really, what you can do to find these tags is look at kind of like the copy on your landing page that you're sending traffic to. What are the keywords that are on the page that best describe your product and the problem that you have and that you're trying to solve? So obviously, with a fetal heart Doppler, they're used during pregnancy. They're used to find a baby's heartbeat. So we've got baby heartbeat and heart rate. And obviously, one of the top keywords for Google search for this client is fetal Doppler. So we're going to use that across here as well and test it out. And the automated creative optimization, we haven't selected it for this campaign. But again, this is very much like the dynamic creative option on Facebook, where you give the platform 5 or 6 images or videos and different copy variations, and it will spit out different results, and it will then start to optimize for the best ones. I haven't tested that out yet, but if you have, let me know. And then with your audience, you can create custom audiences. So you can create, for example, website traffic hits in the last 30 days, those kind of things. Then you can exclude purchases. So similar to Facebook, there is a couple of issues actually populating the audiences. So you can see I've got my audiences here, but this customer list is quite big. It's actually like 2,000, but it's showing as 0. So there's an issue with uploading customer lists. And this audience is too small, mainly because the Pixel was only installed maybe 2 weeks ago. So I'm not 100% sure what the minimum size is. Obviously, on Facebook it is 20, Google it is 1,000. I presume it's more like 1,000 here if it's not showing up. But if you do know, let me know. We're learning as we go. Here you can obviously set if you're targeting male, female, what age groups you're doing, and then your interest category, which is what I was talking about before, is set. Now you can set as with Facebook daily budget or a lifetime budget. From our early test, I would go for the daily budget because it seems to feed it out a lot better. With lifetime, I found that it would stop and start a lot, or it would spend like, if you had a lifetime budget of $100, it would spend like $8 in the first day, then 32 in the second, and it was a bit of a mess to be honest. So I think daily budget is probably the best way to go for now. And day parting I've got all day, which I do for Facebook too. Google search, you definitely want to select day parting, specific time. But I haven't determined yet which option's the best here yet, but I would start with all day and see where your results are coming from. Now the bidding is quite interesting actually. It is an OCPC type of bid. So OCPC means you have to utilize a bid to get your ad in front of the right people and then optimize from there. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you can't do automatic bidding, which is, if you remember in Facebook, is where Facebook will start with a bid and then it will either increase or decrease depending on how it's performing to improve whatever action you've optimized it for. So TikTok has actually suggested that I bid 75% of the daily budget, which is $15 per conversion. And remember, our conversion is content views or product page views. So that is actually quite expensive for a product page view. However, it won't cost that much in reality. What you're doing is kind of like setting a really high bid so you get in front of as many people as possible. And here you have the standard and accelerated bids. I never use accelerated for Facebook, and I don't think Google use accelerated either. So standard is the way to go there. That's the ad group level. So if we go into the ad level, this is where your actual creative is done. So as you can see, it's actually quite simple. The main bit of the creative you have to do is actually the video creation. So a lot of the work you'll have to do to make a successful campaign will be in your video editing tools. Now, obviously, the best way is to have a play around on TikTok, look at different organic and advertising posts, and find like a solution that works best for you. Generally, videos that are a bit more like homemade and authentic, raw, do better than the polished productions that you see. And you can even forgive stuff like having a really hard edit at the end, like a chop, because it will loop around again. So it's probably the best advice for creating TikTok content. So here we've simply got just a couple of customer reviews.
There was just a kick. Can you hear that?
It's a pretty simple ad. It's actually a video we used on Facebook, but just shortened a bit. I did put some music behind it too, because pretty much every TikTok post, organic or paid, has music behind it. So pick something that's popular enough on TikTok, but still matches the music. So a bit of research for you there. Now with the text, you can only have up to 100 characters. So you don't have much room at all. And as you can see here, if you go over, then you do have issues with the double dots there. So you've got to be really, really, really concise, even more so than Google search. You have to get to the point pretty damn quick about what your product is. Listen to your baby's heartbeat at home. It's as simple as that. And then you can pick your CTA button. We've gone with shop now. So that's the ad. So in terms of results, what we're actually seeing here, if you look at the campaigns we set up here, this test campaign 2 spent $36. Cost per click was 38 cents, so that's quite cheap. Now the CPM is very cheap because of the lack of advertisers on the platform. $2.62 is a CPM, the cost per 1,000 impressions here, and usually on Facebook that is up at between $8 and $12. There's been 13,000 impressions, 94 clicks, and we had one product page view with a cost per conversion of $36, which is really expensive actually. So initially when I looked at this and thought, well, it's getting clicks and impressions but not the results, and I was thinking that this is probably a top of funnel tool, and it is a top of funnel tool, to capture a new audience and then put them into your funnel for retargeting on Facebook and Instagram. However, when I actually went into the library and to the event section, this breaks down the pixel tracking. So it will show you how many different events have been fired on the baby heart pixel and which ones were attributed to TikTok ads. Now, if you actually look here, we had a whole plethora of events from the pixel, which is a mixture of Google, Facebook, and TikTok. So you can't really read much into that. But we did have one content view, one initiate checkout, and one purchase from TikTok. So we actually got a purchase from TikTok, which I was quite surprised about. So it's a reasonable start. If you can generate, an okay-ish ROAS of 2 or 3x from TikTok, and then you're generating enough traffic to retarget later, then winner, winner, chicken dinner. Thanks for watching this video. If you do want to get in touch with myself about anything social media marketing related, just head to the Glide Agency Facebook page and send us a message.